The current view of narcissism and codependence is one in which we paint a picture of ego poorly formed in childhood, which makes it so that a person cannot self-regulate properly and therefore become either very narcissistic or very codependent. I would like to give you an alternative view, which is that everybody is deeply and fundamentally codependent, and it is only a matter of whether that codependence is being expressed, suppressed, or repressed. If it's being overtly expressed, we diagnose it as codependence and narcissism. If it is semi-suppressed, we call these people assholes and needy people. And if it is completely repressed, we call them normal and healthy. And that is, I think, a profound mistake, because we have assigned a level of healthy egos or healthy personalities to the large majority of people who are simply in a deep, deep state of repression and psychological lack of health, lack of fundamental wholesomeness. This is Meditation Amsterdam. My name is Pablo, and today I would like to make a case for why we are all essentially deeply and fundamentally codependent. In order to do that, I want to paint a picture of how our very early years in development take place. In the beginning, we are in a completely merged state with our mother. This is a state of no differentiation that is full of warmth and love, and all is good in the world. At some point in the interaction with mom, we come to realize that she is a separate entity and we are a separate entity. And that creates a huge amount of anxiety, distress, and vulnerability in us. And we can feel it in our system. It is the state of being a lonely separate entity in the world. And it is unbearable for the infant. So what the infant unconsciously does is we suppress those sensations and those feelings. In suppressing the distress caused by the absence of the love and warmth that we felt when we were in the merge state, we also repress and cut away from our internal ability to elicit those feelings within ourselves. And we outsource it to an external provider, in this case, the mother. When this happens, the degree to which our mom is being loving and caring towards us is the only thing that we have going for us to elicit feelings of love and warmth within. If this sounds to you like narcissistic supply in which something from the outside is used to regulate you inside, that's because it is. We have outsourced our innate ability for love and warmth within to the attitude of something outside of us. When this happens, the next natural and obvious move is to then begin to act in ways that garner more of that love and care so that we can continue to feel regulated and feel good inside. And from that point on, the receiving of loving care or the establishing of certain circumstances in our environment become completely confused and enmeshed with our ability to feel wholesome goodness inside. Now, I'll extend an olive branch to psychology in saying that some people then go on to create very functional egoic personalities and others don't. So if you do not create a wholesome and effective personality, you will be ineffective at creating situations in your environment that create that feeling of love and warmth inside. And chances are you will be expressing your core wound in very unhealthy and damaging ways. That's what we call diagnosable codependents and narcissists. And here comes the opposite side of that coin, which is if you develop what psychology would consider a normal, healthy personality, what you will be doing is you'll be so effective at putting in place friends, relationships, careers, healthy habits, that you will completely stay in a state of a repressed core wound that is never directly felt. And in fact, your incentive to revisit that and resolve it will be almost close to zero, because everything's fine. Why would you distress yourself with strange core wounds and stories about psychology or whatever, when your life, you have your ducks in a row? You are an effective person in the world with your ducks in a row. There is no reason to be a fluffy spiritualist or some new age person singing kumbaya, obviously, right? And therefore, the incentive is bigger on the more unstable side of the spectrum, whether it is a yin or a yang imbalance, for things to become resolved. You feel the core wound more tangibly. Whether you are expressing it or suppressing it, you still feel it very tangibly, and there's potentially a drive to resolve that. Unfortunately, for people that we call neurotypical who are stable, the chances that they will go out of their state of complete repression is very low until tragedy strikes. And then whether one or several pillars in their life collapse, then the core wound becomes completely exposed, and the person, which we judge to be neurotypical and healthy, becomes as exposed as someone who was only very successful at repressing a core wound that was never resolved. So this is essentially the gist of the video, is to raise awareness to the fact that codependence is a fundamental state of mind that is unresolved until we grow out of our egoic personality stage of development and onto one in which the egoic personality is seen as only a surface layer of who we actually are. And in order to get there, we need to visit and resolve our core wound and grow completely out of it. I would go as far as to say that the fact that we confuse normal, healthy egos as something that is actually healthy keeps us completely stuck in the infancy of our species and keeps people from truly reaching the heights of what human development can be if this situation is recognized and then properly dealt with. I hope that video makes sense. If you think I'm completely wrong, you can murder me in the comments. But if you think that the content is valuable, do subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share with others who might benefit from this content. And I'll be back with more as usual. Thank you very much.